Hello everyone, my name is Samuel Onoha. I'm a professional photographer. This is my first video for this channel. This channel is meant for professional photographers, mainly in Nigeria and other parts of African countries. I believe one thing with photographer, one of the things with the skills wisdoms I'm going to be passing on to every one of you is that there are principles, psychological principles that could be applied regional areas, in the sense that whatever happens, if you apply it in Nigeria, you can apply it in every other part of the country, any other part of African country, and you will still obtain the same result from what you are doing. First of all, I've been in this profession for quite a long time, for about 24 years now, and so many of you became a photographer by default. I just picked it up along the way. Dabble into it, like so many people dabble into it, and some for us, we went into it as a result of our passion for good images, our passion for dressing, our passion to be sociable, to be around other people. But then we also seen a lot of advent of photographic equipment. We've seen a lot of cameras coming up. We've seen cell phones even doing a whole lot of things some of our professional cameras can do. The difference between those that are using the professional cameras and those using cell phones. I'm not saying that some professional photographers don't use cell phones and do a very good work. I've seen that some that do things like that. But I think what differentiates us is professionality. The time that we devote in learning, the time that we devote in developing our skill in the professional photographic industry, or the time that we put in editing, the time we put in setting up the light, the stage, and being able to bring the professional service to our clients. Those time is really what set us out. And I have done this for so many years, and I want to pass on this knowledge down to upcoming photographers. And this weight of knowledge, wisdom, are the things that will help you along the way. I've used them, they work for me over the years. I make considerable amount of money while doing it, and I believe you can do the same thing. I learned the skill, I developed myself over the years that I was into it, and I believe I can pass some of this knowledge to you. First of all, we need to understand that as photographers, we are professionals. We need to understand the meaning of photography. Photography is not just creating images with light or taking images with light, available light that we have. It's not all about that. It's all about a whole lot more involved in it. We wear a whole lot of hats. We are the accountant. We are the salespeople. We are the main photographer. We edit. We attend to customers also. We advertise. And so many other things that we want to do. The same knowledge that I'm passing applicable to whether you're baby photography, that is if you're into babies, whether you do weddings, whether you do portraits, studio photography, whether you do sports, whether you do corporate photography, whether you do nature photography. All these principles are the same. These are principles you can use, and you won't get messed up by either your clients. You won't get messed up by in terms of your sales, in terms of marketing. Most of the things you do, you'll be able to do right. These are mistakes that I made, but if you are able to understand these mistakes and correct them ahead of time, you'll be able to do better. A lot of you even do it better than I did when I was a photographer. You'll be able to even make more money than I did when I was a photographer. You'll be able to spend less years trying to do what I did for years. It took me time to learn this. After so many years of making try and error and making mistakes, before I came down, I said, no, there should be a way out, and I changed what I was doing. The videos I'm going to be doing will be in series. We're going to be doing, they are not yet that I'm going to be giving you, and you pick them one after the other, examine yourself, analyze things about you and what to do, and then you'll be able to say, okay, this is the way I'm going to change it. Take it anyhow you want to take it, apply it one step at a time. Change one or the two things you are doing, and you'll be able to accomplish something better for you. One of the things I'm going to talk about today will be seeing yourself as not just a photographer, and then you are applying those skills. So people need to consult you, and as a professional, you need to change your language. You need to change the way you address yourself. And one of those changes you need to apply is if we could stop calling ourselves photographer. Like for instance, if they ask me, what do you do? Yes, you're a photographer, but you can introduce yourself as a provider of photographic services. Why do I say photographic services? Photographic service in the sense that you are not just into one service. You provide series of services to your clients. They can consult you for what outfit they're going to wear. They consult you for what the background is going to be. We're going to talk about what the light is going to be. You talk about the editing. You provide editing services to your clients. You also provide framing services to your clients. Some of them, you do restoration. You restore bad images for your clients. These are the various services that we provide. So we're not just photographers. We are providers of photographic services. Stop saying I'm a photographer. Start saying I'm a provider of photographic services. That way, people will now stop and think deeply, think more about what we're about to do. And realistically, when they look at what you're doing, you're providing a service. You're not just clicking your camera. You're not. You're doing way more than that. Anybody can pick up that camera and click on it, and that is it. Just give them the camera, show them where the shutter button is, and they will click on it, and they'll produce an image. But we go beyond that, and that is why a whole lot of people use a cell phone that is being modified as a camera these days, and they're doing great job. Even some photographers are doing the same thing, and they're doing lovely job. You are also doing it. You are providing nice images, but it goes beyond that. It goes beyond creating images. It goes in terms of the services that you render. So you're not a photographer. You are a provider of photographic services. It makes people to stop and think about it first. It makes people to stop and look at you in a different way. Somehow, over the years, we have kind of commonized our profession. Everybody has a way they look at us when we introduce ourselves as photographers. Even some of us, let's be honest with ourselves, we are not confident saying that we are photographers. Or if you ask me, who are you? What do you do? I'm a photographer. When you say that, people look at you somehow. They look at you as a failure. They look at you as a dropout. They look at you as a no good person. They look at you as if you can't do anything better than being a photographer. But we know what we do. We know we provide great images. We provide great services. We know we're confident of our work. So we need to speak it also in the things that we say, the way we introduce ourselves, not as photographers, but providers of photographic services. That will help a lot when we start changing our mentality, when we start changing our mindset, and that will start from the way we address ourselves. We're not photographers. We are providers of photographic services. And I need you to also look at yourself and look at the various services that you provide for your clients when you need to introduce yourself further. So many of us do that. Some of us do only photography. Some of us do editing. Some of us even go into graphic design, designing cards, designing digital cards that we can send to clients. We use their images and design other things for them. These are services that we provide for them. Some of them, we even bring their old images and we need to restore it. These are services. Some of them, we come to us to ask for advice on what they're about to do, about advice on outfit, advice on costume, advice on makeup, advice on background to use. And even when it comes to commercial photography also, they consult us. They ask us for that service and what we are doing. We provide our services to them, professional services. And when we look at ourselves in terms of professionals, we need to readdress the way we introduce ourselves. Not introducing ourselves as photographers, but introducing ourselves as provider of professional services. Today, I believe I have passed that words of wisdom, that knowledge of starting up with changing our mindset and using the word providers of photographic services and not as photographer. I look forward to seeing you all next time when I come your way. Meanwhile, you can like my video, share it with other people, other photographers, other providers of photographic services so that they can stop by, listen to what I have to say. It will be of great help to them. Thank you very much.